It is about dang time that I do a dedicated video on a Nomad palette. I checked back on my channel and I have not done a dedicated review or dedicated video on a Nomad palette for almost a year. Why? I don't know. Something's wrong with me. I got this one though, and I was like, it's happening. This is their new palette, and look at this, look at this. This is the Fairy Tale Europe palette. It's almost like the happy, bright, colorful, light version, like the other side of the coin to Haunted Europe. And this one is based on fairy tale castles in Europe, very much like present in Europe, and also a bunch of fairy tales that are based in Europe and are coming from Europe. I know some people are going to say that this is based on Disney movies. And if you believe that, boy, do I have a bridge to sell you. But this is basically different fairy tales that inspired Disney movies set in Europe. So we have like the Little Mermaid, and we have like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. And these different fairy tales are set in France and Germany and Norway and Denmark. And I am very excited. And then we have the actual castles at the bottom. And I will say, these are a little bit hard for me to pronounce. Chateau de Chambon, that one I can do. Then we have these German castles. I'm so bad at German. Neuschwanstein. I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's correct, but let's not talk about that. But there are basically one castle. There's like a fairy tale castle from the country where each of these fairy tales are from, actually. And this is just a really, really cute palette. And what I really like about this palette is that they're taking a concept of really colorful and making it very accessible with a row of neutral mattes at the bottom, and then just a bunch of different super sparkly metallic and some duochrome colorful shades. Because I feel like, for me, someone who loves color, I will go all in color, happy clown every day. This is a little bit more approachable because I know for me a colorful matte is not scary, but for a lot of people a colorful shimmer, it's a little bit more approachable. So if you are into that kind of a concept, I think this might be for you. Also, the art of this is so beautiful. It almost looks like it's been drawn by pen, like pencils. It's super cute, and I love that this is like a cardboard, like it's glued on. The matte castle is glued on this like colored background. Again, it looks like it's been drawn in by like pencils. It's an amazing packaging, and I'm very, 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 very fond of it. Like I said, this one is releasing on Tuesday. You can use my code Angelica and get 10% off at Nomad Cosmetics, this palette, any of the other palettes that they have. I don't know exactly the price of this, but remind me and I will update the description box with the price as soon as this one is being revealed. Because of course, the reason why you are seeing sometimes different indie brands releases being shown at the same time on YouTube is of course because the brand is sending out PR early, and to show respect to the brand, we as creators do not show the palette before the brand shows the palette. So when we have something beforehand, I am filming this way before they have revealed this palette. I am able to pre-film if I want to do some looks, if I want to do a review or swatches, or regardless of how much I want to delve into a release, I'm able to do that before reveal. And of course, then as soon as we see the brand reveal something on Instagram, we just release the video on YouTube because we want to give them the option to, again, out of respect, to showcase their creation first, because I know firsthand, I do own my own indie brand, how much work goes into doing a palette like this from scratch. It's so much work goes into this. So that's why you're probably seeing maybe more than one Nomad palette today. And this is so beautiful. So I thought I joined in on the action, and I am going to do two different looks. I'm going to do one on each eye and one on each eye, one on one eye and one on another eye. I actually do not have time for more. And also I try to avoid to take off my makeup and do it again. I used to do that a lot before, but when I do that, it sometimes triggers my eczema and it hurts so much. So I've stopped doing that because I don't want to trigger my eczema. It's not good for me. I'm trying to be healthy. But I do have another look, a third look coming on Monday with this palette. I have a get ready with me. So there's going to be a third look on Monday where I'm doing the same look on both eyes, in case you're interested in seeing even more about this palette before it's being revealed. So let me zoom in and let's jump in. So I've already decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one eye that's going to be a smoky like outer corner, and we're going to go into dark pink, light pink, and then this pink iridescent, like an ombre shimmer going into the inner corner. And then we're going to do the other eye. I'm going to play with some of these shimmers, and I'm gonna like line my eyes and do like a thick metallic liner in different colors, almost like a little bit of a rainbow around my eyes. So I'm very excited. let's jump in. I've actually already filmed the video for Monday, so I already know what look I did. And I did something a little bit more muted, dare I say, like more on the neutral side with this palette. So if you're interested in seeing how you can get that to work as well, check out Monday's video. So I already know that these shadows are performing just as nicely as I feel like Nomad always does. So this is just me creating a bunch of looks. So what I am actually going to do, which is again very unlike me, I am going to do, because I did play with the browns in that look, I'm going to play with these two. It's a black and a gray. I know. I'm not sick. Okay? Everybody calm down. I'm normally not the person who plays with grays, but today I will be. But the main attraction, like in this show, is going to be the shimmers, and that's how I want to do these looks as well. If you buy a palette that is this like shimmer heavy, I want to show you like, so what can you do if you have these many shimmers to play with? Like, how do you incorporate more shimmers? Because you know, I'm not always the person that likes a shimmer heavy palette. I just really like when brands think outside of the box and think, how can we make color more approachable? So when I think about like what is my favorite palettes from Nomad Cosmetics, there are palettes that I really love from them, especially the ones that have a little bit more, you know, colorful mattes in there. So this might not necessarily be my favorite. I really love the Monteverde Cloud Forest. I really love the Ireland, what's it called, Greenway Atlantic? I don't even remember what it's called, because they have more like colorful mattes in there. But I like the idea of this and what this can bring to the community of people who might be afraid of color. So that was the gray, and now I'm gonna go in with the black. I'm using a small blending brush. This is an E05, so it's like the smallest, thinnest, flimsy blending brush by Singe. The other one was an E06, I think, right? Yes, an E06. Just a more dense crease brush because I wanted to get some opacity with the gray. But now I'm gonna do a black outer corner. I'm gonna blend a little bit into the crease because we want this to be dramatic, and then we're gonna go just all in with the pink shimmers. I even brought out my only pink garment in my collection and a pink lipstick to really just dive this home. Do you remember I did a sponsorship with ITU? And I liked these so much that I bought a couple of more colors. These are the soft matte lip clays, and I got Radiance, which is this like warm pink. Love this formula, so incredibly good. So I did put a little bit under my eyes as well, and this is just looking like a really nice cool toned smoky situation. And we are gonna do this one, and the one next to it. This one, I don't know if you can see. Wait, it is a, have you seen the swatches? It is a pink to an almost peachy gold duochrome. So I'm gonna do the dark pink, the middle pink, and then the iridescent in the inner corner. I might use a little bit of this one too. It is, oh god, I have no idea how to pronounce that. I think that might be Acasa de Segoya. That might be correct. I have no idea. You know what? I might actually start with that one and just do a little bit in the inner corner as like the base before we go in. So this is the Fairy Godmother. It's of course from the Cinderella story. The original Cinderella story, I don't know if you knew, but it was a kind of a grim, bloody story actually, where when the prince comes to have the stepsisters try on the shoe, the sisters end up cutting off part of their feet just to try and fit in the shoe. It's a little less family friendly. So I'm putting the pink pretty much on the middle and blending it into the black and just doing like a strip like that. Oh, that's so cool. We're gonna blend it a little bit into the crease. And then with the black, I'm just gonna blend a little bit on the edge to make sure that it looks blended. And now we're taking the middle pink. And this one is called Cinderella, and I did spray this one too. And we're putting that here. Oh, that's a really bright, super reflective metallic baby pink. That is very, very cool. I like that. I'm gonna do just a little bit of that on the lower lash line. and a dark pink next to it. Now on a pencil brush, I'm taking the shade that's called Snow White, and I'm gonna spray this as well. It's not super flaky, but there's definitely a little flakiness to it, and I'm gonna put that in the very inner corner. I cannot wait for people to say that these colors do not match the Disney movies, and not understanding that the Disney movies are based on old fairy tales. That is a really, really, really cool look. I'm liking that a lot. Let me actually finish this one up, and then we can do the second one, which is going to be a little bit more, I'm going to play with a lot of the different colors of shimmers. Okay, putting some primer on the other eye, and we are going to get ready to do something totally different. But as you can see, we have this really cool, just cool toned, smoky, but still this super pink look. I think it looks really cool and different. So on this other eye, we are going to be using this one. Again, I can't pronounce it, but it's the middle, like lighter middle brown. Lighter middle brown, but it's this one. We're going to use that one, and I am just going to use that in the crease. Ooh, oh, there was a lot of kick up in the pan for that one. Ooh! Went in a little hard, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my lid too. And this is the only matte I'm gonna be using for this look. So I'm just pushing it into the crease, and then I'm gonna blend it up and soften it out. Am I even in focus? Hello! I'm gonna put a little bit on the lid too as a base for the shimmers. Oh, and I'm gonna put a little bit on. Basically, I'm doing a one eyeshadow look, just smoking out my entire crease and lid. Okay, now that we have that as a base, we are gonna do purple, blue, mint. I think I'm gonna use this one and the yellow too, and I'm gonna use those 5 colors, and I'm basically gonna wrap around my eyes with those colors. I'm gonna start with the dark purple that's called Wicked Fairy, and I'm gonna spray this. Now that I was looking at that, because I know that like the Little Mermaid, Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, I know that those are based, oh, and like Beauty and the Beast, they're based on like old, I don't want to say folk tales, because I don't even think that that's true. It's literally stories written, some of them folk stories, and some of them like written by an actual author. But then I was thinking about the reference to Love Story and Snow Queen, and I'm wondering, is that to Frozen? Because I'm not 100% sure what story Frozen is built on, or if that is a Disney original, because of course there are some stories that are Disney originals, it's just not all of them. I would say far from all of them. So I'm just doing, as you can see, purple around here. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna spritz, and I'm gonna add more purple, and then we're gonna switch color. This is the one that is the coral. This is the Little Mermaid one, and we are putting that, oh, that color is stunning, and we're putting that one next to the purple. And I'm using a detailed EO7. It's fun cinch. It's just really nice for like detail work like this. And now I'm gonna do the dark blue. And we're gonna do the dark blue on the lower lash line. And I'm gonna blend it into the purple again, because I want it to like flow together. I think that looks good. And then the lighter turquoise, and I'm gonna do that in the inner half of the eye. Ooh, look at how cool that is turning out. And now we're doing the yellow. Oh, look at that. That's so fun. Okay, I'm putting it all the way in, and then gently blending it into. What a fun look. I love that. Wait, that is so fun. It's a little bit of fallout. Not horribly bad, but that is so fun. I love that. I think I'm gonna do dark blue and then turquoise in my waterline. Let me see what I can find. Let me do the Juvia's Place one in the outer part. And then what is this one called? I don't know, but it's like a turquoise one. It's from Colourpop. It's called Surf Thing. I don't know if these are available or not. I mean, I think that is so cool. What a different eye look. I had this one in mind. Immediately when I opened this palette, I'm like, oh, I want to do something like this. And I'm so happy I did. And I'm so happy it turned out this cute. Okay, let me finish this one up and we can have a chat. Both of the looks are done. And I think that both of them are showing very like different looks. Try to like imagine this being like on both eyes. Like I said, I really, unfortunately, did not have time to do two different looks, but I really like both of them. There are both looks that I would wear on like a full day wear. I like both of them, but I still think they're very different. And like I said, there will be a third look on Monday in a Get Ready With Me where I am chatting about some different things. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think about this palette. Are you excited about this? I really like the packaging. The way that there's this like cardboard is on the front, like the matte castle, and then the holographic pastel background. And it all looks like it's been made, I don't know, there's something, the cartoon of this, it's giving old, actually, like Disney backgrounds. And I'm gonna be honest, some of these I've like been making fun and saying like, oh, this is not inspired by Disney, but I'm gonna be honest, some of the names, some of the inspiration might as well have been, but all of these stories are taking place in Europe, and all, if not close to all of these, do originate in old actual fairy tales that were written in Europe. And I think that that's somehow, a lot of old fairy tales and myths and different things are getting like Disneyfied and Marvelified. Like I remember when I launched the Hella palette together with Oden's Eye, and people were telling me that I misinterpreted Hella because they watched Marvel. Which is like, it's great that these companies are popularizing these things, but we shouldn't forget where things originate from either. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Would love to read your comments, and I will see you. Well, if you're a member, there's going to be a video tomorrow. I have a membership here on my channel where I do member exclusive tutorials every month. You can read more about that in the button next to the subscribe button down below about the membership. But I'm also having a book video tomorrow on my second channel. I do have a books and travel channel that's always linked down below. And tomorrow we are doing February reading wrap up where I'm going to be reviewing all the books that I read in February. But if you're interested in makeup videos, that's going to be Monday. Bye!